Hello, everyone. I cannot believe it is our last day on the farm, but it has been so fun. I have been so happy to spend some time here with you guys. And what a better thing. There's always good food on the farm. I feel like they always have good breakfasts and they have yummy cookies in the oven. Anyway, so I thought today we would do our cookie wrapper. So before we get started though, I want to touch base on something that I forgot to mention yesterday. And that is a little finishing touch on this You Are My Sunshine gift tag. So in the past, when I have done a tag, I have added a little strip of paper like this, just folded it in half and staple it or glue it on. Well, for this card, I want to take just a little different approach. And I am just really going to snip a little square, out of my paper. And I am just going to double side that on. And you could do it, I think I'm going to do it horizontally. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It is just a hole reinforcer, if you will. And then you just simply take your hole punch and punch your hole through both of them. But I like how it just is like that old-fashioned reinforcer that they had on tags. So I just wanted to make sure I showed that to you before we got started on our cookie wrappers. So let me clear this out of the way. And I'm going to show you the supplies for today's cookie wrapper. I read a quote just recently and it said, the more creative things you do, the more creative you become. And I'm like, some days you just don't feel creative. But what I've realized, as you do start creating things, it is so easy and fun to think of a new twist or a variation. So we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit more today. So the supplies we're going to need or use for our cookie wrapper is our card cutout number 70, our cookie wrapper barnwood, and the reverse side is our seaside jumbo dots. And then we'll also be using our seafoam mini stripes and our seafoam fresh gesso. So those are the things, our supplies, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into our cookie cutter. Now, a little trick that I have found is helpful, excuse me, is I like to score before I cut my card out. So I want to leave a little room for my cutting and trimming. So you can see there's like a 1/16 of an inch. Now you could use a scoring tool. I'm happen to use just an embossing tool on the medium end. And I'm just going right along that edge. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. And when you score, it just helps the paper to fold easier. And you can fill where you've scored. So if you're wondering where you're supposed to score next, you can just fill with your fingers and it becomes very clear. So I have one side left to do. So as I was mentioning, as you score, the paper just folds. You don't get all the breaking or the cracking of the paper. It just makes a nice clean fold. So the next thing I do, now you could probably use your paper trimmer, but I think this works just as easy. I use my bigger scissors for this job because it does go a little faster. And I am just trimming off a slight edge of the wood. I don't want any of the white showing, and so I'll just go ahead, finish cutting that out, which I have already done. So what I'm going to do, I've folded them. Look, I just have to show you how cute this is. You want to fold in your short sides first, and then your bigger flaps. But I love this. Has the potential for being a masculine or feminine little cookie pouch. But I love the lining inside. I think that is just so fun and such a cute finishing touch. But before we make the card that, or the wrapper that I have shown today, I want to show you some variations. So I'm going to do this one as though we're going to be flat. You know, this is one of those things that I realized as I've called it a cookie wrapper. There are so many more things that you could do with it. And one of those things is you could put a gift card in here, or you could put like thoughts for the day, the week. You could tell them your favorite things about you. So that's what we're going to work on first, is our flat folded. So I have some pieces over here. So I'm going to use this one that I have already just taped down together. So you would have your contents inside, such as your gift card or your favorite things, whatever it is. You could even just stick in money in there, would be good. So now you can choose whether you want to have your wrapper go around. So here is the seam, so you could have it go across like that, or you could cover that seam like so. So one thing I want to talk about, on the sample that's in your idea book, the dimension is 1 5/8 by 11, and that is great, and I love how it looks. It's just thick enough that it makes enough of a statement. But it is also cute to have little strips like this. So whatever your preference is, this strip here is a 1/2 inch. And then you can just cross it in the back and adhere it using your favorite adhesive. So my first thought was, okay, what do I put on this card in particular? And on your farmhouse, okay, it was actually from card cutout number 71, and these are leftover pieces you probably have from week 1. And just as a little reminder, all of our pieces are going to be sold separately once camp is over. So it'll probably be the middle of September where you'll be able to buy everything individually. So card cutout number 71, I use this tag right here, and I've used this flower and a leaf and the little 2. So now that I have that straight, I can put my little frame there. I'm just adding the flowers and the leaf, and I already have adhesive on these. And then you'd write who your little packets to. And I thought that was really cute, but I felt like it got lost a little bit. It just didn't have the pop that I was hoping it would have. And so I took a scrap of paper I have. This happens to be, let's see, the Honeycomb Leafy Green Light. And I tucked that behind here. It was just scrap that I had. And I'm like, oh, that just kind of gives a little pop. But it didn't quite seem finished still. This color maybe wouldn't be a color you would have chosen or thought of originally, but I like how it coordinates with this leaf, and it does add a nice background for this. And you know, I haven't used this paper as much as I would have liked, so it's kind of fun to play with papers that you've had there that you haven't been using. So all I did is I took my Lei pen, I drew the outside border. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can use a ruler and make it exactly straight if you like as well. But look how when I tuck that in there, how it is just finished off with that little black doodled frame around there. So I think they turn out cute for things other than cookies as well. So we're going to go through making one for the cookie. And it's a little different because unlike the one we just worked on, it was flat. This one, the cookie is not skinny. So now this cookie is on the larger side. I just bought it at a local drink and cookie shop. But if you had homemade cookies, that would be awesome. Probably better. But sometimes I have the best of intentions of taking something to someone as soon as I get those cookies made, but sometimes that is a hard job to get done. So sometimes just spending that minute going to the little cookie store, or I mean, there's lots of fancy cookie shops out there. Just grab a cookie so you're not delaying the event. Or, as in my case, sometimes I miss out because I was waiting for the perfect homemade cookies. So there are so many good cookies out there. So I like to just fold in my short sides first, and then I wrap around the bottom piece. Now, if you feel a need, you could tape those in place as like so. And I'm just gently holding because I don't want to be smushing my cookie. Or you could just go ahead and wrap both sides. And I do try to line up these outside edges here. And then I just simply put a little piece of tape there, but I missed it. Just 1 second. Those woods were blending so good I couldn't even tell where the seam was. So I'm just going to go ahead, put my tape there, so I'm holding it all in place. Now, when I am doing the cookie like this, I use my 11. This needs to be arranged a little bit different. I just feel like that corner's sticking up and this one isn't. But I think when I get my band on, it will straighten itself out. So, oh, I forgot to show you a step. Darn it. I will just undo this and I can show you quickly. Okay, because when you're working with the thicker package, it's harder to wrap your little strip around your package. So what I have found is very helpful is I line up my strip just along that inside edge there. And what that does is it shows me where it's going to fold. So I just take my ruler and I make a couple of score lines, just following the score line that was already there. But this allows it, whoops, this allows me to fold my band, but to have a nice crisp fold there. So let me just hurry and do that. It just makes it so much easier when you're trying to seal this all together. Okay, that's feeling pretty darn good. I'm going to go ahead and tape it closed. Nice. Now I can put my band on. And you see, because there's score lines already, and then this just wraps around the thickness of your little package here without, you don't need another score or another fold there. You just want it to wrap snugly. So as we were, I did the wood on one side because I was trying to make it a little more masculine. But what I've realized, when I added the pink and blue flowers, I kind of took away some of the masculine part. So I thought I'm going to work on that and see if I can make it a little more masculine. So I thought that's what we could do today. So on this one, I've just cut out the flowers. I don't think we'll go ahead and put this one together, but we'll just go through our variations because you guys know how to do this. I have just used the little flowers from our card cutout number 70. So I've used this one here for here, then a little daisy and a leaf, and I added the hugs for you. So you can just see how easy that is. And then I just took a little strip to add for the little tag. I didn't really put a string through it or anything, but I thought it's just a cute little addition to the tag, just kind of finishes it off. And that is the tag that comes on card cutout number 70 as well. So let me show you some other variations I came up with. And then it'll just get your creativity going too. So I can't wait. So let me just clear these few things out of our way. So I said to my husband, told him I was trying to make this more masculine. And he agreed with me. When I added the pink and blue flowers, it kind of lost some of the masculinity. I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I mean. So let me show you this isn't more masculine, but you can see the idea here too. Look how cute these things are added to this one, or even just that one. So cute. So many ideas for you. And then we had so much fun working with the sunflowers yesterday. I took the To From, but I covered it up because I wasn't going to use the To From, but I liked the frame that it created. So look how cute the sunflowers are on there as well. I just love that. I think it is so fun. Still not very masculine though. More masculine than the pink and blue flowers. But one more idea for you. Okay, I am using the To From tag off of the wooden gift tags. And very simple. You could just do it like that, write your names on. But I wanted to give it a little more finishing touch. So I thought, well, I could punch holes in it, in the top and in the bottom, like so. And then I could take some jute, and this piece of jute is almost 2 feet long, just to give you an idea. And they started with some up top. Oh, actually, that's the bottom. I just want a little bit up top, so I will pull the rest through the bottom. Like maybe that big. Pull the rest through the bottom. And now I'm going to wrap this around. And then I will tie a bow, or you could just tie a knot. You could use ribbon. There are so many things you could do. So you could tie a ribbon, or tie a bow, just a regular bow, and that will kind of finish off the top piece there. And that's just a little bit longer than I need. Oh, I do have one suggestion for you though. Write on it before you tie it all on. It's a little easier to write without writing on top of a cookie. So I thought, okay, that feels more masculine. Still very simple, still very effective. And you could do this with a flat one as well, or as the cookie wrapper where it's thicker. Okay, so I thought this is cute. It feels more masculine, and Lane would feel much better getting this. He loves sugar cookies too. I think I'm going to surprise him with this after we finish filming, but since he's doing the filming, it might not be too much of a surprise. But I thought you could also, and this would be easier if you did it before you put it on, but I just wanted you to see, look how cute it is, just adding that little bit of background paper, the happy birthday. I used the seafoam, but I'm like, that just feels cute. It feels like we have a little finishing touch, and if you could actually, I should have used this one, darn it. It says to Lane from Carrie. So I hope you have enjoyed our week on the farm. It has been so much fun, and I'm looking forward to our season to be freezing because it's really quite warm here. So I'm looking forward to week number 3. I can't wait. Thanks for stopping by, and happy camping.